On this episode of Behind the Mic with Nick Morgasen, we sit down with zookeeper and animal expert Jack Hanna, and we discuss his upbringings, how he wanted to be a zookeeper from the age of 16, and now he's 70, so you can do the math and see how long he's been doing it for. And we talk about all the animals he's been with. He talked about going to Rwanda and being with the gorillas. He talked about his meeting with Betty White and starting Heart of Africa. So he's done a lot of things, and you'll get to learn a lot about his different interviews he's done on TV talk shows like Letterman. He hosts a bunch of his own TV shows. He's won 2 Emmy Awards, and he's just a spectacular guy when it comes to being in the animal field. Now let's go behind the mic with Jack Hanna. And this next guest that I have on the show, really fascinating in my opinion, works with animals, brings them onto all different types of shows, and it's really fascinating to talk to this guy. Jack Hanna, thanks for joining me.
No, it's great to be on.
So, as a kid, you started having interest in learning about animals. At age 11, you had your first job working for your family veterinarian in Tennessee. Tell me what it was like for you and how doing that job got you the experience you needed to be where you are today.
Well, raised on a farm in Tennessee, I had animals, cows, all those kind of animals. So the veterinarian, I just saw him one day at the farm. I said, "Can I work for you?" He said, "Sure." Well, I worked, that first day, clean cages. And then for 4 years after that, every single summer, every single day, I worked for him and watched what he did, clean cages, watched surgeries. And he also was the veterinarian for the little old zoo in Knoxville, Tennessee. Now, that was back, this gives away my age. You're talking about the late 50s. And so I'd go back there and see the little zoo in Knoxville, and I said, "I want to be a zookeeper someday." That's how I lived up my dream. And I tell young people or anybody, people laughed at me and everything else. The zoos back then weren't what they are today. Today they're incredible, and back then they weren't. So, but now that's how I got in the zoo business, because I just want to be a zookeeper until I was 16, and I never wavered from my dream, never.
So you eventually went on to get your college degree, and you opened up Pet Kingdom in Knoxville, and you received an offer to direct the zoo in Florida in 1973. Did you feel that you were starting to become a success in this type of business?
Well, it was a big deal to me to go to the keepers of Knoxville Zoo, and then you're right, we went down into Florida, Central Florida Zoo outside of Orlando, Sanford, Florida. I had 4 employees. It's a little old zoo on 2 acres. And I was the director. I thought that was the biggest day of my entire life. And sure enough, we went there and helped them raise money. Just built a new little zoo. Now they've made it a lot bigger outside of in Sanford. And that's where I said to myself, well, this is something, I went and did something and made a difference with a lot of good people, not just me. And then I did that. And then our daughter got a very bad form of cancer, or leukemia. Went back to Memphis, where your whole life changes. At St. Jude, they just helped me so much and kept her alive. And that's when I went back and worked at Knoxville Zoo some. And then you've done a good job researching me. And then in 1978, I heard about the Columbus Zoo in Ohio, which was one of the worst zoos in the country at that time. And today we're voted one of the top 2 out of 200-something zoos, 221 zoos and aquariums. So I was just lucky to get there when they were kind of going down the tubes, and it wasn't me again. I just put together the right people. And we went from a zoo in Columbus. I just showed you how you answered your question was, did I feel like I was going to do something? I just felt, here, man, this is something working in a zoo and making a difference for the animals as well as the visitors. And then the same thing happened in Columbus, just with the right relationships and the people up there, that we've now gone from a zoo in 78 when I went there, of maybe 150,000 people with maybe 30 employees. Today we have 3.1 million people with over 2,000 employees. I could go on and on for you. On the budget back then of the zoo was maybe 600,000, today it's 69 million. You can see what we brought into the Central Ohio area and what we've done with the animal world. It's amazing, the zoological park. Now, that is a dream. That's beyond living that dream as a little boy, building up into something like this. I never thought would happen in a million years. And your next question probably is how did TV start? I didn't want to ever be on TV. It just so happened I got a call from Good Morning America in 1983. I still do the show today. What's that, 30-something years later? David Letterman we did for 30 years because somebody from David Letterman saw me on Good Morning America in 1985. And then that's when we started that show 30 years. Did over 100 shows there. So, again, I don't have an agent. I don't have a manager. We work out of my office at the zoo there where I'm based out of. I'm on the road about 220 days a year filming my TV series. And, like I said, Now your question I can answer. It's beyond a dream for me. Forget the TV. Just a dream for me how we built the Columbus Zoo. It's been the most amazing thing that I've ever. That's where my joy has been, is looking back and seeing what we built and how the people have changed, how the animals are now in magnificent natural enclosures. That means more to me than any TV I can do. I love the zoo so much in Columbus, and that's my life.
So I wanted to go back a little bit because you started to talk about the Columbus Zoo. On your website, you said, my top priority was to increase attendance by offering educational and entertaining events. What was your thought process at the time when you created these programs?
Well, the thought process was that the zoo, back then, like a lot of zoos, in the zoo, you just sit there and you look at them. Some people threw peanuts to the animals, and it was no big deal. Education wasn't even hardly thought of in zoos back in the 1960s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And then, of course, toward the end of the 70s or 80s, then education to me is the number one priority of a zoological park. You cannot have conservation. Sometimes my cohorts disagree with me. That's fine. I have no problem with it. They say that conservation is the number one goal of the zoo. Well, that cannot be. A lot of people do not know what conservation is. Most people today do. But back then, you travel the world like I have in the jungles of the world and say, hey, what conservation are you practicing here with your cheetah? What people that live there? What conservation in South America in the jungles are you doing? Well, you can't do that. They don't understand. You have to educate people first. And that's what I always said at the Columbus Zoo. And now we have some of the greatest conservation programs in the world in our zoo. But people have to be educated first. That's the number one goal, not just in the animal world, but throughout the world. When you see problems in the world, you see people that have not been fortunate enough to have an education. So at the Columbus Zoo, we started making it a fun way of education. We didn't tell the visitor to our zoo to say, come bring little Johnny to the zoo and learn the Latin name of a lion or learn the Latin name of whatever animal it is. Learn about this. No, it's not getting little Johnny and his family to the zoo. The zoo at our zoo is not only an educational place, it's a fun place to visit. It's a fun place. None of the animals are made fun of at all. It's a matter that our habitats, our polar bear habitats, 27 million? Our new Africa is 42 million. I mean, I'd love to live in a house like that. Are you kidding me? It's amazing. 98% of our animals in zoos today are born in zoos. They're not from the wild. If I need a wild animal for a gene pool, I can go take the veterinarian to Africa and collect the sperm or the egg, or vice versa, when we put them back out in the wild. So, it's a whole new world from a little boy. And yes, education is a good question you had. You have to start with education first, and that's what we did at the zoo.
So you talked about going on to Letterman. You talked about going on all these shows. Now, when you go on to these TV sets to do interviews, how shocked are people when you bring these animals on set, and how do you keep them so well behaved being out of their own element?
Well, see, the element of zoos that are born in a zoological setting is much. I would never go to Africa and pick up a lion, right? That's what I told you. 98% of our animals come from other parks throughout the world. We have breeding loans from zoos throughout the world. Our whole job is to keep these species alive so future generations can understand them, and hopefully, like we're doing now, getting some of them released back out in the wild. I hope that answers the question. As far as going on TV, we have certain educational animals that go there. If an animal, we don't just force an animal to go on TV. We don't breed animals just to take them on TV. It just so happens we started it because we can educate millions of people, tens of millions of people over the last 30 years, television. I have a saying in our zoo. It's very simple. Touch the heart to teach the mind. Touch the hearts to teach the mind. If we can't touch people's hearts to teach them about the animal world, then we're not doing our job. That's all. It's that simple. And that's what I've always lived by. Touch the heart to teach the mind. And that's what the zoological parks and aquariums in our country do.
So you collaborated on an interesting project in 1991, which would benefit the mountain gorillas of Rwanda. Can you explain how Partners in Conversation was created and what the project goals were? And also tell me what it was like hiking with the gorillas in the Virunga Mountains.
Well, my first hike was 1982. I knew Diane Fossey, and that was like, I'd heard about this thing, and I just went there for the gorillas. Like most people, back then Rwanda was just a country people saw the gorillas. Even though the mountain gorillas, there's only about 700 left in the world, are only in Rwanda, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. They are not the lonely gorilla you see in zoos throughout the country, throughout the world. There are no high mountain gorillas. There are no mountain gorillas in any zoo in the world. We protect them in the wild is what we try and do now, and their population is going up somewhat, especially in Rwanda. So I went and saw those gorillas, and that led to us helping the gorillas out, especially after that terrible genocide. And then at that point, we went and opened up an orphanage for only about 400 kids that had loss of arms and legs. I don't really want to go into that. It was amazing what happened. And we didn't have that orphanage. Now those kids are out in society with jobs, and now we have 5 schools, not one. We turned the orphanage into a school. And then we built another new school out near Lake Kivu in Rwanda. So Rwanda, really, I have a little house in Rwanda. I did not build it for me. I built it for the country. And that's, my wife and I in the Columbus Zoo, that's our biggest thing we do right now, other than our families and me taking care of the Columbus, me helping take care of the Columbus Zoo.
So talking about some of your other TV shows, I know we talked a little bit about this earlier, but you've won Emmy Awards on your shows. You now have your Saturday morning show, Jack Hanna's Wild Countdown. How does it feel to get the recognition for teaching education to animals through the television show?
Well, I'm proud of it. Our whole zoo is, not because I'm on TV. People who know me know that I'm the same person that was as a boy on a farm in Tennessee. TV doesn't affect me. TV affects a lot of people, I'm sorry to say, that are not all of them. I know some great celebrities that are. I'm not a celebrity, by the way. I'm just an animal person. I don't like that word. And I'm just the same old person. Anybody that talks to you, they got the Jack Hanna you got when I was 15 or 10 years old. TV is yes, it's been some kind of a run. It really has. Again, I have no agents or managers or anybody. I have 3 people in my office that do that and take care of all my shows and me. And then we have, obviously, the zoo that looks forward to the 2,000 employees. But we have a lot of employees at our zoo. But right now, the TV, when I guess the biggest thrill I have is walking around the Columbus Zoo at nighttime. I don't really go out in the daytime. I'd love to, but I can't get very far in the zoo in the daylight. So I love to talk to people. I do that maybe 2-3 times a year. I like to go out and look at that zoo and see how it's turned around. That's my biggest accomplishment in life, other than my family, and is seeing that zoo and what the people of Columbus, Ohio, and Central Ohio have built. I just get so proud of it. That's my dream. My dream was to be a zookeeper, right, and not the TV. But the TV, yes, it's amazing that you get an Emmy Award. That's my production company, by the way. I'm not mine. Spectrum Productions in Tampa, 24 years now. And in L.A., some people out there helped me at first, and now we just do a lot of our shows are filmed inside the zoo. The set. When I talk about, like I just got back from the Amazon, Galapagos Islands, I've been there many times, the Andes Mountains. It's one of our last shows, and then we did 6 shows in Ecuador, and those shows air in May. So our set that I do the opens and closes for these shows the last, 10 years, the set's actually on the zoo property. And we built it from nothing. And now we do 3 national shows out of that one set, that one little place we built the zoo. So, TV can be done. I like L.A., New York, all those places, Nashville, they're great. But you can save tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars just doing it yourself. And that's what we've done and been successful at it, thanks to Spectrum and all my staff. So, that's how we've always built the TV stuff up. You're proud to go on a show. Sure you are. I'm doing the Late Show now with James Corden, and I love that show. I love Good Morning America. I love all the shows. I love Letterman. I've done CBS, NBC, Fox and Friends, and I have Zookeper. I don't look at ratings or nothing else. I look at where the people appreciate the animals, where the animals then educate people by the shows, and people sit at home and watch it, and they learn something about that animal.
So in 2014, you had a famous celebrity join you for the opening of Heart of America. Who was it, and what was that experience like, and how does this program allow the public to get closer to certain animals you usually can't get as close to?
All right, that was Betty White you're referring to, opening the new Heart of Africa, not America, but you're right, Heart of Africa. It was one of the largest ever built in the country. We worked many, many years on it. It's beyond spectacular. You take a picture of it, people say, "Where were you in Africa?" That's how natural it is. It took us 3 years to build. Giraffe, the lions, the cheetah, the aardvark, the zebra, the kudu, the birds, the ostrich, blah, blah, blah. It goes on 150 animals, whatever it is, on the African belt together. It's spectacular. And it was Betty White. I chose to do that. We named the whole walkway going into it Betty White Way. Not because she's a celebrity, because she's a dear friend since 1979. I've known Betty White. I just had dinner with him at her 94th birthday several weeks ago, and she and I have been friends for many years. Not because of who she is at all. She and I are just the same. Betty White's still the same woman she was. She's 94 years old now. I'm almost 70. So she and I just love animals. She and I are sincere people, and that's what I love about her. There's not another person in the world that loves animals more than Betty White. So I had her open it up. Cut the ribbon, and it was almost not tearful, just one of the most incredible things I've ever done was have her honor us at the Columbus Zoo to do that for us. It was a big day in our lives.
So who was your inspiration for becoming a zookeeper and working with the different type of animals over the years?
Well, an inspiration, forget the TV, was Marlon Perkins, who used to have Wild Kingdom, which you played too young. It was a show on, was it Sunday nights, I think, right before Disney. Marlon Perkins' Wild Kingdom, Mutual Hall's Wild Kingdom, went on for years. And I would watch that, not for TV. I didn't want to be on TV. I just wanted to kind of get out of the state of Tennessee. I love Tennessee, but I never thought about going to another state, much less traveling the world, every continent in the world. You can imagine living a dream of just working with animals and traveling the world. I mean, it's beyond comprehension.
So, being a famous zookeeper and animal expert, has there ever been an animal that really scared you to death wherever you've been working?
I'm sorry, you said animals scare me to death?
Right.
Here's the point. Have I ever been scared or, frightened and stuff? The answer is obviously yes. And you know something? Whenever it happens, it's my fault. For example, you can ask people, when we film, we've always had respect for the animal in its wild habitat. When we film, there's a comfort zone of the animal and a comfort zone of the animal and one of us. When the comfort zones cross, and you try and get that great picture and get closer and disturb the animal, then you're going to have a train wreck. We don't try and push that. A lot of reality TV shows do. I will not mention the name of the channels, cable channels, and some other channels. They want the reality stuff, reenacting a blind biting somebody, the blood from a snake, and all this crap. Excuse my language. We don't do it. We do it with respect to that animal. It's his pride, it's his home, and that's what we do.
Wow, unbelievable story. Jack Hanna, zookeeper, professional animal expert. Thanks for coming on the show, and I really enjoyed talking to you.
No, you guys have great questions. You really do. And I'll be there to sign autographs there, too, at this place. So looking forward to get out. I like that theater. The people are nice, and, it's just a lot of fun. So appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Jack.
All right. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.